How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for joining us once again at From the Wheelhouse. My name is Captain Mark Stevenson. I just am so excited to share the boating business with you all. I mean, there are so many things that we can do out on the water, except for um, besides just being on the beach and splashing our feet in the water and hanging out on the sand. I want you to get out on a boat. Don't you know that you can rent a boat? Don't you know that you, even if you don't know anything at all about a boat, you can hire a captain to take you out. You can hire one of these rental boat companies, and they have a list of captains. Each one are required to have a list of captains to take you out. And we want to share the wonderful world of boating with you. That's why we are doing this show called From the Wheelhouse, okay? So, I want to share this with you. Let me put this microphone down just a little bit, or maybe I can put it up a little bit, because I want you to see the name of this show as being what it is, From the Wheelhouse. Somebody help me out here. Okay, here we go. There you go. You can see part of it. Today is a live call-in interactive show. Now, if you want to join us, all you have to do is use this number at the bottom of the screen here. Dreamcatchers is our sponsor, and Dreamcatchers is the not-for-profit organization that helps us to do the things that we need to do in order to help those who want to help themselves. Dreamcatchers helps you catch your dream, whatever that might be. Look them up online. Dreamcatchers is a not-for-profit that underwrites our show, and we want to make sure that you know they have helped us to be able to help you. Now, in today's show, what are all of these pieces of paper in front of me? I have so many emails that you have sent me. I don't know what to choose first. So, you have a ton of questions. We tried to answer them last week. Thank you, Captain Jim Esco, for being my co-host and answering a lot of these questions. But we keep getting so many more questions in. Somebody's calling me. I'm busy. I'll have to call you back. Thank you so much. Click. Sorry about that, folks. And then again, you need to know that this is the time of the year when everyone is calling to get on a boat, and I want to help everyone. But first, I want to talk about something very serious. I was out at 31st Street Harbor last night. There were thousands of young people that descended on 31st Street Beach. They had sent information out through social media that was the place to meet. I don't know what they were planning on doing, but there were hundreds of police officers, thousands of young people out there. I saw some of the most, I can only say it how I say it. I saw some of the most shameful behavior from young people that I've ever seen in my life out there. Twerking of every type. You saw blocking traffic, people in the middle of the street. The police, the Chicago Police Department, I have to give them kudos. They blocked off 31st Street, didn't even allow people to come into the harbor area, didn't even allow people to come into the beach area, but still they took over all the areas just west of the harbor. And it is very difficult to get people to come down to 31st Street Harbor to do a boat charter or to rent a boat or to do anything and take a family down there. I have to tell you, the only way I can describe it is they were doing everything except for swinging from the trees. It was really something that I've never seen before. And 31st Street is not just the only location. All up and down the lakefront, young people are descending upon the lakefront. And during this time of year, what else could you expect? The lakefront is for everyone to share, and you can't cut it off from everyone, but there has to be some limitations. There are bars and restaurants along the lakefront, and they deserve to be able to to enjoy being in business. So, if you have a young person in your household that is talking about coming down to the lakefront, make sure that they have a reason to be down there other than just hanging out with the crowd. It's a very dangerous situation down there. There are many people. I couldn't even get in my car without people approaching me, asking me about my electric bike, and I was concerned, and I was prepared to. Prepared to run. That's right. That's right. I've outran some of the toughest guys in Chicago. So I want you to know that on the lakefront, in particular, 31st Street Harbor, they have to do something about it. So one of our viewers have called in and asked about why don't you put a recreational drive to enter 31st Street Harbor. Well, they have it at Belmont. At Belmont Harbor, you can enter Belmont Harbor through Diversey Avenue, or you can, or excuse me, you can enter Belmont Harbor through Irving Park, or you can take this road called Recreational Drive, and it'll take you right in there where the boats are. Well, I think they need to cut a road on the south end of 31st Street Harbor through the park, which will allow people to come into the boating area without having to go through the zoo. And I can only say it like that because that's what it appeared to be to me. You need to understand that if people are in business, and these are multi-million-dollar businesses, that they cannot be asking people to come down through an area that they are afraid to even drive through. Most of Chicagoans are saying now that they don't even want to come south of Monroe, south of Madison. It's a shame, but folks, if you are working with the city of Chicago, or if anybody from the city of Chicago hears me, anybody from the Chicago Park District hears me on this show, you need to cut a recreational drive through the park. So much for that one. I want you to know also that people have sent me questions, and so we're going to go through as many of these as possible. We're also going to take a look at a video. You know, since I came on the show with all of this heaviness at first, let's have some fun and look at some of the boat fails of the year. And I'm going to ask our engineer to turn the sound off so that we can play this video without sound, and I'll go ahead and narrate what you're looking at. What you're looking at is a large ship that's backing in to a dock. Well, you got to wonder if that captain had people on the back of his cruise ship on the stern part warning him that there was a dock back there, and he completely crushes all of this in order to take off. We have to depend on people. We have to depend on these deckhands and ensigns and other people that work with us in the business if we're ship's captains, and that's why we call it this show From the Wheelhouse. It's giving you a view of what it's like to be a ship's captain, and it's not easy. So you might wonder, how could somebody run into a dock like this? Well, it is more easy than you think. Here is another incident that is happening. I want you to take a look at this fisherman here and see what see what happens. I hate to laugh, but the thing is, oh my God, here's somebody that just comes up behind this fisherman, is sitting there. Look at him. He's chilling out and fishing. He's lost his fishing rod, lost his fishing equipment. Somebody just came up behind him and rammed him, but he had a camera. Here's a boat coming in now, heavy seas. And this appears to be a fishing vessel trying to make it in, and you see he's coming in through these heavy waves. Well, when a ship captain is driving any type of boat, He's got to make sure he's watching out for what's coming in front of him. And here's a sailboat that they are filming from, who's trying desperately to get out of this guy's way. You see the black smoke coming out of the stacks there. This captain realized what he was about to do, and he throws it into a hard reverse before smashing this boat into pieces. That's what you call a near miss, folks. Oh my goodness. So glad that nobody was hurt on this one. Let's continue. Here's a couple of ships. And one guy is docking really, really close to another boat in front of him. Man, we have to put them in there tight, but maybe not that tight. Here's something that you see pretty often on the Great Lakes as well as on the ocean front. Now, if you take a look at all of these small boats that are just zooming around the freighter that's coming through. Oh my God! Here's what happens. He almost runs over that freighter. He tears the sail down. There's the mast. The mast goes down. Oh my goodness! But you thank God there's a ton of small boats around there who are coming to his rescue and going to help him out. That mast weighs several hundred pounds, and if it hits someone on the deck there, it could actually kill them. But this happens. You see, the small boats have the ability to maneuver around very quickly. But these big ships, these big freighters, they don't have the ability to make turns. They can't turn on a dime very quickly, and it takes them a long, long time to stop. Here's a freighter. Oh my God. Now, I've heard many stories about these container ships. Each one of those containers, and these container ships will hold up to 1,500 different containers, and each container is what you see on the back of an 18-wheeler truck. They could have anything in them from any parts of the world, from computers to furniture to artwork, you name it. But once in a while, these containers fall off of ships, and they are floating in the ocean, and people run up on them in the middle of the night and tear up their boat and sink. Here's a foggy condition. And in foggy conditions, obviously, one of these freighters hit another one. And you can see some of the containers lying on the bow of the other ship that hit them. Really something to be concerned about if you're out there on the water. If you are interested in seeing this kind of stuff in greater detail, I want you to know that you can see this kind of stuff here. You can see this kind of stuff here online. Every week they post boat fails. Here's a big cruise ship. And this is a privately owned yacht that, for some reason, finds itself in among a bunch of smaller boats trying to turn around and go back out to sea. But along the way, he backs into a bunch of smaller boats that may or may not have a lot of people on them. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Here's a boat at the bow of that ship trying to help him turn. You see, he's pushing and pushing and pushing. He's at the front of that boat, pushing, trying to help him turn so that he can get that boat off. I just want you to know, folks, this is not an easy task that we deal with being ship captains. On the Chicago River, for example, we run into all types of situations with kayakers and small electric boats and all types of boats that are going in every direction. And to me, I liken it to flying through a beehive without trying to touch another bee. That's what it feels like. You're flying through a beehive And everybody's buzzing around you in every direction, but you don't want to touch anybody, because if you touch someone, you have to report it. Here's a question that came from one of our viewers. I had contact with another boat. What should I do? The rule is, if you touch another boat, even if you touch another boat softly, it must be reported. You see, these boats are made out of fiberglass, and they don't dent like a car. They break up into pieces. You could touch a boat and create a hairline crack. Now that boat is taking on water, and you don't know about it. And everybody's having fun and partying, having a good party on the front of the boat, and you're just driving and sinking at the same time. It's happened more than once. If you touch another boat, make sure that you report it. Let's see. Somebody's asking a question. I was going to skip this one. Somebody's asked, why don't you continue to dye your hair? Well, the only thing that makes Captain Mark look good is a pocket full of money. I realized that at some point I don't have to dye my hair anymore. All I have to do is work hard, do the right thing, and as long as I get money in my pocket, I look good. Trust me on that one. If you don't know for sure, ask somebody. I don't have to dye my hair anymore. Thank God. Yes, I wear false teeth. I have false uppers and lowers, but they're my teeth because I paid for them. That's absolutely right. You know, some of you are just trying to be funny with me, and some, that's right, absolutely. But I have to learn how to pronunciate and enunciate. And I want to make sure that I'm talking as clearly as possible. It's a task. It's been a real task. But after spending thousands of dollars with dentists, having fillings and all types of things, I want you to know I gave up. Genetically speaking, since my parents and my sisters and brothers and everybody in the family have lost their teeth, I was fighting a losing battle trying to save mine, and I finally gave up and told the doc, take them all, baby, take them all. Now I'm looking at doing a cooking show in the fall, and I'm going to do a toothless tasting test at many different restaurants. That's right. I figure there are thousands and thousands of you out here that have false teeth, so I've talked with my dentist about it. He confirmed it. And many of our taste buds are lost. We're not able to taste things the same way. So I'm going to do a show showing the restaurants, bars, and grills along America's waterways. And I'm going to, on each episode, do a toothless tasting test. I'm not ashamed to take mine out. That's right. Here's one. Oh, passenger cut his foot while diving off the bow. Well, all captains are required to have a certification for first aid and CPR for adult and children. And so we know what to do. The rule is, though, that if there's an accident that takes anything more than a Band-Aid, it must be reported to the Coast Guard. You have a form to fill out, and you have to make sure that someone knows about it in a position of authority so that they can catalog and make sure that you are not doing a major surgery. You know, I see these guys that do shotguns. You know what a shotgun is? That's when they take a beer can and they cut a hole in the side of it and take the beer can and put it up to their mouth and suck in all the beer all at once. It's something that young people do. The unfortunate part about it is that this is aluminum. Slivers of aluminum can be in that beer and you're trying to swallow it. So Captain Mark, make sure that he carries his pocket knife. This is surgical steel on this knife. And one day I'll get a chance to do a trachea. One day somebody's gonna swallow some of this, some of this aluminum slivers trying to drink down a beer. You don't have to drink down the whole beer at once. Oh my God! Especially from the side of the can. Oh, so much for that. Here comes the police. Well, at one time we used to run from the police. We used to run from the Coast Guard. We used to run from the IDNR, that's the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, the Conservation Police. Today, there is no need to. These folks, they help us. They're not trying to penalize us. They're trying to see that we're operating safely. So you don't have to worry about the police. The police are there to help us to remain safer. A lot of people want to bring marijuana and stuff with them. Well, those are federal waters. Even though marijuana is legal in the state of Illinois, you simply can't do it on the waterways because those are federal waters, and it's still illegal federally. So if you have any paraphernalia and you have any marijuana, do what you do on land and leave it in your car or leave it at home. You need to have a clear mind if you're coming on the waterfront, even just to rent a boat, to have a good time for the day, because a clear mind makes a safe behind. Can I talk on the radio? I get this sometimes. People want to, then when I'm talking on the marine radio, they want to talk on the radio too. Well, I can't let them talk on the radio because the radio is designed to keep us safe. Again, it's a safety matter. You cannot just broadcast whatever you want on the marine radio. We have a rule that you make a message or you send a message out on the radio. It cannot last more than 30 seconds, and you must not repeat it more than 3 times, but it must be separated by 10 seconds of silence. Wow. I'm just thinking, how the heck could I remember all of this stuff? You know, I can't even remember a poem that I wrote. I can't remember the words to a song. I can't remember a speech that I wrote. I have to have notes to do it. But CFR 46, which is the Code of Federal Regulations, somehow, some kind of way, my mind has made me almost memorize it verbatim. It's the craziest things in the world. But at the same time, you'll know that if you're with Captain Mark, you're working in a safe environment. Now, if you'd like to get in touch with me, I want you to grab a pen. Before we go on and answer some more of these questions, grab a pen and paper, and I want to give you my contact information. And you can call me, you can ask me about Dreamcatchers, you can ask me about boat rentals, you can ask me about how to get trained on a boat, you can ask me about how to get into the boating business, how to buy a boat, how to sell a boat. You can ask me anything that you want, and I don't charge anything to give you information, because God has put me in the position to disseminate information. And I promise you this, if I don't know the answer, I'll make sure that I put you with someone who does know the answer. You can call Captain Mark Stevenson at 312-437-2230. I'm going to say it again, 312-437-2230. That's how you can do that. And I take pride in never having my voicemail filled up. I answer every call that I can. You can text me to get a prompter response at 312-437-2230. He wants to drive the boat. Well, you can't let a passenger drive the boat. But I have to admit, and I've done that before, out in the open water. You can't hit anything. And I want to encourage people who rent boats that they can purchase a boat themselves and they can drive it. So I wanted to encourage them that they can get out and do it also. But you have to do it with training. And Captain Mark Stevenson knows a bunch of great people who can help train you, because I can only drive one boat at a time. Let's see what else we got. I'll tip you if you let us smoke some weed. Uh-uh. You can't do it. Can't do it. Just not gonna do it. Good neighbors. Dock parties. Wow. Well, here's another problem at 31st Street. There's and other harbors too. You have dock parties, and the best thing to do is this. Know that there are literally hundreds of people that live on their boats. And so you don't want loud music and wild parties going on every night of the week, all into the wee hours. Some people have to sleep, believe it or not, and you have to be a good neighbor, and you have to be considerate of those who are around you. At 31st Street, there is a dock called the JKL dock. And at that dock, they have a bar, a grill, a nice pizza place, a swimming pool, an area where people can sit and enjoy themselves outside who are not boat owners. And you are welcome to come down there and enjoy that. On the other end of the harbor is a bar, a restaurant down there, and you can, that's on the north end of the harbor, and you can join in the fun there and do some dancing and all. There's a time and a place to do everything. Boy, oh boy, again, what I saw out there last night, if I saw one of my daughters, and I have 4 of them, if I saw one of my daughters out there twerking like I saw out there, I would whip their asses. Can I say that? Can I say that? I don't know. Let me say it again. I'd whip their asses real good. You cannot expect for. Oh, I'll leave that alone. Better not catch my babies out there doing that. It diminishes our people, or it diminishes us of who we are. You cannot get out there and just do what you want to do in public. I don't know if it's the alcohol or the weed or just what. 2 guys want to have a fight. Well, you can't fight on the boat when Captain Mark is there. It makes it dangerous. If 2 guys are fighting and you can't, I'm not going to get between 2 guys fighting because, or 2 girls fighting, because I'm not going to get injured trying to break something up. The thing is you, as a boat captain, you have to make sure that you are maintaining order. And if people want to continue to fight, you get on the radio and you call for the Coast Guard, the police, or whoever else is close by that can help you. I have been in situations before where people just got totally out of control, and I take the boat and I bring it up close to a docking space, to the sidewalk, like at Monroe Harbor, and I just tie the boat up, take the keys, put them in my pocket, and walk away. And I call the owner and tell him, you better go get your boat and get those people off your boat, because I'm not the one to try and maintain a bunch of nuts. Plus, I'm paid in full in advance anyway, and they can keep their gratuity. Because if they're going to get into a dangerous situation, they make it dangerous for themselves and for the captain and crew. And so sometimes you got to know when to walk away. Person isolating themselves from the group. Well, some people, when they get to isolating themselves, you got to make sure that you're keeping an eye on them. Just make sure you keep a watchful eye on them, because they may have intention to do something to themselves. I don't know why, but people like to choose water to make a temporary, let's see, what you call a permanent solution to a temporary problem. No matter how bad it gets, it's not that bad. Well, the show is coming to its end. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us again. If you want to call me, 312-437-2230. That's 312-437-2230. I just can't tell you how much I enjoy being with you. Let me tell you like it is. Come join me next week. Our show is coming to an end for the season. I'll see you next week. So, Mama, get the coffee ready, because the kid, he's on his way.